Have you ever felt a bit of despair in your own garden? You put in the hours, you do the digging, you sow the seeds with great hope, and you water diligently. Yet your plants seem to struggle. The leaves are a bit yellow, the growth is stunted, and the harvest, if it comes at all, is rather disappointing. It is a common frustration, one that can make even the most passionate gardener question what they are doing wrong. We often blame the weather, the pests, or even the quality of the plants themselves. But more often than not, the real problem is lying right under our feet, hidden within the soil itself. The truth is, all our hard work above ground means very little if the world beneath the surface is not thriving. You can buy the best plants and follow every instruction on the seed packet, but if your soil is tired, compacted, and lifeless, your garden will never reach its full potential. It lacks the essential structure and, more importantly, the teeming community of microscopic life that truly powers a plant's growth. It's like trying to build a strong house on a weak and crumbling foundation. Eventually, no matter how much effort you put in, things just don't hold up as they should. In stark contrast, you might know a gardener whose plot seems to flourish with almost no effort at all. Their vegetables are vibrant and large, their flowers are bursting with color, and everything just looks wonderfully healthy and alive. They don't seem to be doing anything extraordinary, yet their success is undeniable. This isn't magic, and it isn't luck. These gardeners have tapped into an ancient secret. They understand that the key to a truly magnificent garden is not just feeding the plants, but feeding the soil itself. They cultivate a rich, dark, and crumbly earth that is teeming with beneficial microbes. This difference highlights a fundamental shift in how we should think about gardening. For too long, the common approach has been to treat the soil like a simple container for plant roots, and to spoon-feed our plants with chemical fertilizers. This creates a cycle of dependency and can, over time, degrade the soil's natural vitality. The real secret to a thriving, resilient, and beautiful garden is to step back from this chemical approach. Instead, we must focus on creating a living, breathing ecosystem in our soil that will sustain our plants naturally for years and years to come. So, what is this ancient secret that unlocks such incredible fertility? It comes down to one simple, yet profound idea: giving the microscopic life in your soil a permanent home. The real workers in any healthy garden are the countless bacteria, fungi, and other microbes that break down organic matter and make nutrients available to your plants. They are the engine of the entire system. However, in poor soil, these helpful organisms have nowhere to live. The soil is either too compacted, too sandy, or simply lacks the structure they need to build their communities and thrive through wet and dry spells. The answer lies in a remarkable material called biochar. This is not a new invention. In fact, it is an ancient soil amendment, rediscovered from the incredibly fertile terra preta soils of the Amazon basin, which have remained rich for centuries. Biochar is essentially a very pure form of charcoal, made by heating wood or other organic material in a low-oxygen environment. But unlike the charcoal for your barbecue, this material is designed to be a permanent addition to your soil. Its most incredible feature is its microscopic, honeycomb-like structure, which is full of tiny pores and channels. This porous structure is what makes biochar so revolutionary for the home gardener. Each granule acts like a luxury hotel for beneficial microbes. It provides them with a safe, stable place to live, sheltered from the elements and from being washed away by heavy rain. This structure also holds onto water like a sponge, releasing it slowly to plant roots when the soil begins to dry out. Furthermore, it has a natural ability to cling to essential nutrients, preventing them from leaching out of the soil and keeping them right where your plants can access them. It doesn't break down quickly. It lasts for hundreds of years. By adding biochar to your garden, you are not just adding a substance, you are fundamentally changing the soil's architecture for the long term. You are creating a permanent framework that supports a vibrant, self-sustaining microbial ecosystem. This is the absolute opposite of using a liquid chemical feed, which gives a temporary boost but does nothing to improve the underlying health of the soil. Feeding your soil with the right kind of stable carbon, like biochar, is the key to building that dark, crumbly, and wonderfully alive earth that every gardener dreams of. You cannot simply throw dry biochar straight into your garden and expect miracles to happen. In its raw, dry state, it is like an empty hotel. It has all the rooms, but none of the residents or supplies. If you add it directly to your soil, its powerful sponge-like nature will cause it to pull moisture and nutrients away from your plants in the short term, which is the exact opposite of what you want. The crucial first step is to activate or charge it. This process involves filling all those microscopic pores with water, nutrients, and most importantly, a healthy starter colony of microbes. The process is wonderfully simple and uses materials you likely already have. You will need a bucket or a wheelbarrow, your dry biochar, some water, rainwater is best if you have it, a bit of unsulfured molasses, and a few generous handfuls of good quality compost or worm castings. The compost is your source of microbes, and the molasses is their food. It gives them the energy they need to multiply and colonize their new biochar home. Think of it as preparing a welcome party for the most important guests your garden will ever have. Here is the simple recipe for your microbial soak. First, place your biochar into the bucket or wheelbarrow. Then, for every 5 liters of biochar, mix about a tablespoon of molasses into 5 liters of water until it dissolves. Pour this sweet, brown liquid over the biochar. You will see it fizz and bubble as the water rushes into all the tiny pores. Keep adding water until the biochar is completely saturated and submerged. It needs a good, long drink to become fully hydrated. Make sure every piece is wet. Now it is time to add the life. Take a few good spadefuls of your best compost, the darker and earthier smelling, the better, and mix it thoroughly into the wet biochar slurry. This inoculates the mixture with a diverse range of beneficial bacteria and fungi. Let this mixture sit for at least 24 hours, though a few days is even better if you can. This gives the microbes time to wake up, feast on the molasses, and start moving into their new, permanent homes within the biochar. Your biochar is now activated and ready to bring new life to your garden soil. Once your biochar is fully charged and teeming with microbial life, it is time to introduce it to your garden. The good news is that you don't need a huge amount to make a significant difference. A good rule of thumb is to aim for the biochar to make up about 5 to 10% of your total soil volume. For a new garden bed, you can spread a layer of the activated biochar over the surface and then dig it into the top 6 to 8 inches of soil. For existing planting holes, simply mix a few handfuls into the backfill soil before you place your plant. If you are working with containers or pots, the process is just as easy. When you are mixing your potting compost, add the activated biochar at that same easy ratio of about 1 part biochar to 10 parts compost. Mix it all together thoroughly before you pot up your plants. This ensures that the beneficial material is evenly distributed throughout the root zone, where it can do the most good. Because biochar is so stable, this is a one-time application. Once it is in your soil or your pots, it will continue to work its magic for your lifetime and beyond. Now that you have created this wonderful, microbe-friendly environment, the next step is to protect it. The most important thing you can do for your soil's microbial population is to keep the soil surface covered with a layer of organic mulch. Bare soil is an enemy to microbes. It gets baked by the sun, battered by rain, and loses moisture rapidly. A generous layer of garden compost, leaf mold, or well-rotted manure acts as a protective blanket. It keeps the soil cool and moist, and it provides a slow-release food source for the earthworms and microbes living below. To keep the microbial party going strong, you can also give your soil a regular microbe drench. This is particularly helpful during the main growing season. It is just like the initial soak you made for the biochar, but in a much more diluted form. Simply dissolve a spoonful of molasses in a watering can full of water, and perhaps add a liquid seaweed feed for extra minerals. Watering your plants with this solution every few weeks gives the microbial life in the soil a welcome boost of energy, ensuring they continue working hard to break down nutrients and feed your plants. You will not have to wait long to see the results of your efforts. One of the first things you will notice is a change in the soil itself. It will become darker in color, and its structure will improve dramatically. Instead of being hard and clumpy or loose and sandy, it will become wonderfully crumbly and friable, holding together when you squeeze it, but breaking apart easily. It will also hold moisture much better, meaning you will find yourself needing to water less often. When you dig into it, you will see more earthworms, which are brilliant indicators of healthy, living soil. Of course, the most exciting proof will be in the health of your plants. With a thriving microbial community making nutrients readily available, your plants will have everything they need. You will see stronger, more vigorous growth and greener, more luscious leaves. Plants will be more resilient to pests and diseases because they are fundamentally healthier. And the harvests? They will be more abundant and flavorful than ever before. The fruits and vegetables grown in living soil simply taste better because they have had access to a full spectrum of minerals and nutrients. One of the most reassuring things about this biological approach is that it works everywhere. It does not matter if you have heavy clay, poor sandy soil, or are gardening entirely in containers on a balcony. The principles are exactly the same. By adding activated biochar and consistently mulching with organic matter, you are building a superior soil structure and ecosystem that will overcome the limitations of your native soil type. It is a universal solution because it relies on the power of nature, which is adaptable and resilient. This method empowers every gardener, no matter their situation. So, I encourage you to embrace this way of gardening. Step away from the cycle of chemical fixes and start building a truly living soil. By creating a permanent, thriving home for microbes with biochar and feeding them with simple organic matter, you are investing in the long-term health of your garden. You are becoming a custodian of the earth, not just a consumer of it. This is the path to a more resilient, more beautiful, and more rewarding garden. Anyone can do it, and the success you will find is a testament to the quiet, powerful magic of a soil that is truly alive.